so I'm going to show you how to do the Bethlehem scene, and I'm also going to do a little quick learner how to do an easel card. And not only how to do an easel card, sorry, it's not an easel, it's a stepper card, isn't it? Not only how to do one of these steppers, but how do you work out the stepper that's exactly the right size for your die. So I can show you that. What we need to do first of all is that if I get the actual die itself, I'm going to see how wide is the die. So I'm going to use my Scoremaster board so that I can have a little look. So if I'm looking here, it's just over 4 inches. So it's 4. Let's just have a look. By the time it cuts to 4, but let's have a look. I'm going to go 4 1/4. So here's what you do. I'm going to get a sheet of cardstock. I'm just going to use some plain white. Oh, crikey, we're running out of cardstock in the Sara special stash under here, Joe.
We've been doing that many cards. Stash, you know, there's a double cupboard of cardstock down here. If you ever need anything, you just come down here. Look, there's a double cupboard stash over here. So you help yourself. Well, it's your cardstock anyway, so.
I'm sure. Very true, very true. Right, so we're going to go probably 4 1/4 inches to give us a little bit there. And then if I want to do this and have maybe a 2-inch step on the side, I need to go 6 1/4 inches, and that's where we would trim off. So I'm going to leave it the width of leave it the height of A4, but I'm going to trim this to my 4 1/4. Here we go. I've got my large guillotine, not 4 1/4, 6 1/4. So I can see that size on there, and I'm just going to trim that down nicely. There we go. So that's going to give us the right width for that die. Then what we're going to do a stepper card, we know that we want to put the step at 4.25 inches. So what you do is you just put a bit of a score line in there, running from roughly halfway to almost 1 inch from the bottom, okay? Now, in this big half here, you're going to score at the halfway point, which is 1 little notch before the 6, okay? So we're going to score 1 little notch before the 6. Then if I flip it over, the other side's going to be the steps. I think I'll go about 1 1/4 inches for my step to give it a little bit of a bigger step. So if you go 1 1/4 inches up, you must come 1 1/4 inches down. So that would be it. Next one will be at 2 1/2. Then you know this line was at 1 little notch before the 6. We would need to add the distance of the step onto the top. So it would be 1 1/4 onto there. So that's how you do it, okay? Whatever you make your step here, you have to take it that much further past this step line here. Then all we do is come in with our metal-edged ruler and also your little knife here, and we're going to cut from the edge of this first one right down to the edge part of this last step here. So you're cutting through there like that, and then what you'll see is if we fold the step, we're going to fold these two as your mountains. This one comes under as a valley there. And you can see there, look how perfect that is, right? Because we measured it all on the Scoremaster, you get that perfect little stepper card. So that's how you do a stepper card.
That's beautiful.
Now what we need to do our design for the front. So I'm going to just pop that to one side. I've got my Bethlehem scene. Now have a little look at it, okay? One side looks really interesting, like the Bethlehem scene. The other side looks really boring because it's basically just the windows in the Bethlehem scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my lovely Bethlehem scene out of some lovely like midnight purple pearlescent cardstock. So what happens is that goes onto this side, and then my little window, so in the background I'm going to do something quite clever. I'm going to do glitter card and mirror card. In our special card packs we always do a glitter and a mirror in the matching colour. So I'm going to cut the buildings out of this, and it's the windows, and you'll see the buildings cut out, and I'm going to use the gold mirror in the little windows. So can you see that's going to sandwich in between them two. This is quite intricate, so again I'm going to add that metal plate on. So what you're going to do, your sandwich is
we actually had questions in about the metal plate. A couple of people confused as to where it goes in the sandwich.
Right, let me show you. Let's get everything ready from the bottom up. So you've got your base plate, then you have your double-sided plate on top of that. Then your first piece of cardstock and your simpler side of the die. Then you're going to go in, second piece of cardstock must be face down. Your colour is going to touch the die. Then what you're going to do is at this point, you're going to add in your metal plate so that you're cutting into the metal. Then what I do is I put my second double-sided plate on and then the top plate. So hopefully that explains it for people. That is the sandwich combination. If you add your metal plate, then what you'll find is if it's too thick, if you're trying to send that through and the machine can't cope with it, it'll just return it. And then you'll know that you've got to take the metal plate out. They're not designed to need the metal plate, but some of the dies are really, really thick. And if you're cutting a thick cardstock, it is quite a nice addition on there, okay? Now, let's have a little look. So, there's the Bethlehem scene. I mean, just see how beautifully well that's cut, Joe. It's fabulous. And then if I lift the back off here, and then because we've used that metal plate, you see, we get the perfect cut out as we go. So what happens, how this is designed to work, the scene, part of the scene comes away. So I'll use my little pokey tool. These things, like the palm trees and things like that, are going to be fabulous. You could keep them and use them in other bits of the project. So this is all coming away. Same with these little bits up here. You're left with that wonderful star. Wait till you see that all layer up with the next piece underneath.
I bet you could make a beautiful scene all of its own, just of the waste from this one, Sarah, if you wanted to, with those buildings and stuff.
And also all these little bits of windows are really nice. There's another little palm tree that we could do. These are all going to look fabulous. Oh, do you know what would look really nice? You know those cards you do where you put a little tea light behind? This would be one of them ones that would look amazing with the little tea light behind. So let's get all that off to the side, and you can see there's our first part of the scene built out. Then if we come and bring in our second part, doesn't look quite as exciting at the moment, but get all these bits popped out and you'll see it coming to life pretty much in front of your eyes, because it's all designed to be this layerable element. Now, you said this earlier, Joe, we have a lovely edgeable die that we did in our collection, which was the nativity scene.
Was it our double-sided edgeables?
It was our double-sided edgeables, and it was the same designer has worked on these creator cards and the illustration on the creator cards as what we've had on those edgeables. So it means that if you're using the two in conjunction with each other, you know that not only are they going to look like they work together, but the designs are going to perfectly match in together as well.
Which is great as well, especially if you're trying to maybe build a coordinated sort of Christmas card collection, because it's lovely, isn't it, when you send a card to someone, although it's not the same as someone else's card, you can be like, oh, Barbara sent you that one, or did you get the same one? No, I got one that was similar. I think sometimes there's something nice about that. Obviously there's nothing wrong with sending absolutely matching cards out, but to have a theme is just really lovely, I think.
Well, also if you're making and selling, how awesome are they going to look? Because you can make and sell with all of your stuff with these. So you could be making and selling, and your whole little display would all match and look really professional. Now, I'm into Brenda the spray booth. Is that right, Brenda, did we call her?
It's Brenda, yeah.
Brenda the booth, right? And I'm just going all over the back with my spray adhesive. Now, you've got different ways. You could put some of our self-adhesive sheets on the back before you stick these. You could run them through your Xyron. You could use tape pens, the dotty tape pen in particular. I'm just finding quite easy at the moment doing it with the spray booth. Is quite easy for demonstrating to you guys.
You love
right?
the sprays at the moment, don't you?
Oh, I'm well into, yes, absolutely. Now, watch what happens when I lay these up. So this is the mirror card that I'm going to put the glitter card on top of. So you get this really nice, subtle twinkle. Can you see? So you've got that just subtle twinkle behind. And then if we take our complementary colour, so the purple now on the top, and it really, really stands out. You see, there's the palm trees. And I love the fact that you've got some palm trees in the purple, but then also where we've had the palm trees cut away, those are going to be fabulous and show the little gaps here. What you could do is you could paper piece these, so you could do it in a different colour again, do it maybe as a brown or a green.
I was thinking craft card would look great, wouldn't it? Put back in craft card.
Oh, do you know, I'm going to take that out because I didn't want to piece you in there. But that would look fabulous, right? So, there we go. There's our palm tree. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the stepper card, and I'm going to stick that onto the front of my stepper card. So bear in mind that we've made the stepper card just the right, right to the end of that tape pen, just the right size. We've got that stepper card ready to go, and that is going to go onto the front part of the step here, and it's just going to size in perfectly. So there's our step on the front, and then for the little steps at the side, all I've done is another little bit of glitter card with a few gems on the bottom, And then I've also got just another little piece here of glitter card ready to hold our little sentiment. And I've just finished this off really nice and simple with a very, very simple Joy to the World. So Joy to the World across the corner here. And that is a perfect easel card, all done and completed.